Let me start by telling you something very important. If knowledge alone were enough to change someone's life, you would have been living your best version a long time ago. And this is not an attack. This is not judgment. This is clarity. Because you already know what to do. You've read about it. You've heard it. You've watched videos. You've saved content. You've bought courses. And still, something blocks you. And most people think the problem is lack of motivation, or lack of discipline, or lack of talent. But it's not. The real problem is this. You understand focus, but you don't live focus. There is a huge difference between knowing and being. Focus is not an idea. Focus is a behavior. And this is where most people get stuck. They believe that once they feel ready, confident, inspired, or motivated, then they will act. But the brain doesn't work that way. Your brain doesn't change through intention. Your brain changes through repetition. That's why focus is not something you are born with. No one is born focused. Focus is built. Focus is trained. Focus is strengthened the same way a muscle is strengthened. Let me explain this in a very simple way. Think about a child learning how to walk. She falls, she cries, she gets frustrated, she gets up again, she doesn't stop and think, maybe walking isn't for me. Maybe I'm not good at this. Maybe other children are better. She just tries again. Why? Because the body learns through practice, not through self-judgment. The brain is exactly the same. You don't change procrastination with motivation. You change procrastination with daily, repeated action, even when it's imperfect. This is something most people resist hearing, but it's essential. Focus is not about feeling like doing it. Focus is about doing it even when you don't feel like it, even when you're tired, even when you're afraid, even when your mind says just do it tomorrow, even when distraction feels more comfortable. And here's an important relief I want to give you. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not lazy. You are not broken. You are not incapable. Your brain simply learned a pattern, and patterns can be unlearned and replaced. But now we need to talk about something deeper, because focus is not just effort. Focus is a choice, and every real choice requires renunciation. When you try to keep all options open, you don't commit to any of them. When you try to do everything, you don't do anything deeply. It's like choosing an ice cream flavor, but while you're eating it, you keep thinking about the other flavors. In the end, you don't enjoy any of them. This is what most people do with their lives. They half-start everything. They emotionally stay available to distractions. They keep one foot in what they want to build and the other foot in fear, doubt, comfort, or escape. And divided energy creates weak results. Real productivity begins when you stop negotiating with yourself all the time. When you decide and you sustain the decision. And this is where macro focus comes in. Focus is not just, I will concentrate on this task today. Focus is, who have I decided to become from now on? Because identity drives behavior. If you see yourself as someone who tries, you will quit when it gets uncomfortable. If you see yourself as someone who finishes, you will find a way to continue. This is exactly how healthy relationships work. When you truly commit to someone, you stop scanning the environment for better options. You show up, you invest, you burn bridges with what pulls you backward, and growth demands the same level of commitment. As long as fear remains an option, as long as distraction remains a refuge, as long as procrastination remains a negotiation, your results will always be inconsistent. Now let me be very honest with you, gently but clearly. Focus is not fast. Focus is not magical. Focus is not instant transformation. Focus is a process. But this process is the difference between people who live their lives in draft mode and people who live the final version of who they are. From this moment on, your role here changes. You are not here to consume more information. You are not here to collect insights. You are not here to feel temporarily inspired. You are here to embody what you learn, to apply, to repeat, to adjust, and to continue. even when it's uncomfortable. Because when knowledge becomes action, procrastination loses its power. And when action becomes consistent, productivity stops being something you force and starts becoming who you are. And that is exactly what we are going to build together here. Welcome to the course, The Secret of Maximum Action.